So here we are on the Temple Mount in this vast area. If you can see through the trees, there's the dome. That's the Dome of the Rock. But you see how vast this area is. I mean, it's huge, isn't it? And they say that the temple wasn't built here by Herod and Solomon, and yet it doesn't make any sense.
There's no archaeological evidence elsewhere of such a large place, and what Herod did was on a grand scale. Down at the city of David, they have no evidence of a large place here. You know,
nice. A lot of people would be surprised to know that the Jews can't even pray here. If they start to pray here, they'll be kicked out.
Right? Isn't it strange? You know that this is the land of Israel, and they have limited access to the temple, this holy place.
They gave it to Jordan, right? In a trade-off for peace.
1967, when they took Jerusalem, they acquiesced and they let Jordan administer the control of the Temple Mount. But to contrast with that is actually the Israeli police is here. You don't see Jordanian police here.
Right.
So this is Jerusalem. I mean, Israel has the total control of all this. If it comes to push to shove issue, that's why the Israeli police is here. They enforce if the Muslims becomes extreme and get out of control, which has happened, of course.
So it's just about keeping the status quo here.
Status quo.
Well, there's been a trade-off to try and achieve peace many times by Israel, but it never really works, does it? When they give away land, it never
doesn't work at all. So
we've got this Trump thing, possible Trump thing, and Australia saying that only West Jerusalem is the capital of Israel recently, and it's like more of the same thing. It's not going to achieve peace, is it, dividing Jerusalem?
We know that God's curse for those that divide Israel. Prophet Joel chapter 3 verse 2, God enters into judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat, the nations that divide up his land. So any efforts of man, President Trump, whoever it is, Saudi Prince, Jared Kushner, no plan of peace will work. Right. Only Yeshua the Messiah will work here. So what an experience here.
And so I'm just going to say again, the vast area of this Temple Mount, which goes all the way down. It takes a long time to walk all the way. It's such a huge area around. It's not just this, you know.
Right.
And people say that Solomon's temple, Herod's temple, could not have been built here. Yeah, it's huge. It's more than big enough.
More than big enough. You can see a model of Herod's temple, what it looked like. It was more grandiose than Solomon's temple. Herod wanted to one-up Solomon. The area was much larger, and but this was the site. So a lot happening here, you know.
Yeah, and just tell us, why is the eastern gate blocked up?
They're getting really aggressive to us.
We need to go.
Yeah.
Who's getting aggressive?
They're like, go get them right now.
Really?
Yeah. We gotta go.
What? Why is the eastern gate blocked up, Anthony?
Oh, the eastern gate is blocked off because actually the Ottoman or the Muslim control over this, they blocked that off. They added, from what I understand, fear that the Jewish Messiah would enter there, you know. So that's, you know, also there's a graveyard. There's an Arab graveyard right on the other side. So the Jewish tradition is that, you know, they would have nothing to do with dead bodies. And then somehow, foolishly, that they could prevent the Messiah from coming through that gate. It's so stupid, you think about this, that you could stop the creator of the universe from doing something, right?
This is the mentality.
It's like, you know, putting up a barricade, barricading, think this is going to block them, you know?
Joseph, they were just pretty stern with trying to get us off this place because the time is finished.
We told them that we were waiting for you guys. We pointed at you and they're like, well, go get them and tell them to go.
I think the part of the reason they're like this is because they're trying to keep that status quo.
Yeah.
You know, they don't. Yeah, they're trying to appease, and people think that Israeli police are just totally all against Muslims. Yet they try quite hard to
appease them.
To keep the rules. You know, to keep Israel, people from Israel off the Temple Mount beyond the time. We're not allowed in the.
So the Muslims can stay here as long as they want.
Oh yeah.
What we're discriminated against, right?
Yeah, it is religious fascism in a way, because I've never seen that in a synagogue. You know, I can go in a synagogue if I'm not a Jew, So why can't I go in the mosque if I'm not a Muslim?
Where's Ellen? Where's?
It's a closed